Hello, everybody. This is Kimchi Crypto. Today, I'm going to talk about is crypto over? Why then it's happening right now? Let's dive in. Over $1.3 billion in crypto positions liquidated as Bitcoins drop below 104K. It's fragile market. Analysts point to lingering fear from October 10th wipeout, ETF outflows, the US government shutdown, which is still going on right now, and reduce the global liquidity as possible catalysts for the dip. All that FUDs is everywhere right now in crypto market. Balancer hit by apparent exploit as $110 million in crypto moves to new wallets. To make things worse, another hack just took place. Ripple, however, acquires another crypto firm named Palisade to expand institutional payments business. Ripple is buying crypto wallet and custody firm Palisade to boost real-time custody and payments for fintechs and corporates. This is Ripple's fourth acquisition this year alone, after buying prime broker named Hidden Road, stablecoin infrastructure firm Rail, and corporate treasury management platform G Treasury. By the way, one of those major indicators when exit the market. As for me, it's apparently not right now. That's one of those events should be, I think, Ripple's IPO, which is likely to take place in 2026 or 2027. Who knows exactly? But at this moment, right now, Ripple doesn't need to be, having any type of IPO, money raising because they don't run out of money right now. They're just buying companies. They don't need IPO, but they will need it one day, but not right now. Anyway, good news for XRP in November. On November 4th to 5th, Ripple Swell event take place in, I think it takes place in New York in the United States with all those major global, institutions such as BlackRock, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton, etc. They're going to have a huge conference. On November 13th and 14th, Canary Capital XRP Spot ETF will be launched. And the next week, Bitwise XRP ETF and Grayscale XRP Dogecoin ETF, they are all coming out in the middle and late of November. And November 22nd, that is the deadline for those ISO 20022, the standard for digital financing, digital payments, and etc. This is another digital the standard of the digital financing. So this should be implemented by every single financial institution in the world, and major beneficiaries, if this is applied to every single institution around the world, major beneficiaries are XRP and Stellar Lumen, and plus other companies, other cryptocurrencies as well, such as Hedera or Algorand and XDC, etc. But now, good news, whether that's good news, bad news, no news, only market dumps. He's telling us the real sentiment in crypto market right now, right? This guy named Rashid bin Said is from the United Arab Emirates. He has more than 300,000 followers, but he says crypto is a scam. Market manipulation is at all-time high. I'm sorry to all the people who are still holding any coins right now. I quit and I'm not coming back this time. You see the sentiment right here. Welcome to November, but it looks like bloody like hell. Virtual Bacon, one of those influencers out there, he mentioned gold has hit new all-time highs. Historically, Bitcoin lags gold by 12 weeks, almost 3 months. And every time gold consolidates after a run, Bitcoin rallies next. Their correlation between gold and Bitcoin has set between 57 to 92% over the past 2 years. If that holds, Bitcoin's next leg higher should be soon. However, this guy also shows up named Benjamin Coin. He's not that favorable person to altcoiners, especially for the last couple of years. He mentions again this. Altcoins will likely drop another 30% against Bitcoin over the coming weeks. Reasoning behind his own argument is this. Last cycle, altcoin versus Bitcoin pairs found a major low at 0.25, which corresponded to the end of QT in 2019. Perhaps, and I know this may sound crazy, altcoin versus Bitcoin pairs to go to 0.25 again. And then QT ends in December. Currently speaking, altcoin versus Bitcoin pair is around 0.36 and QT ends on December 1st. And this means, look at this chart here. The white line represents the Federal Reserve asset in their balance sheet. The QT ended in 2019 and they printed a huge amount of money. And we are expecting Federal Reserve to end QT on December 1st. And this line here represents altcoin versus Bitcoin and 0.25. It's like bottom line here. When it hits this line, it means altcoin are very much depressed. And it took place at the same time right here, this white circle. QT ended in the late of 2019, and this altcoin versus Bitcoin pair hit that bottom. And then, Federal Reserve printed a huge amount of money in COVID crash and in 2021 as well. They printed a huge amount of money like this, green line here. But this yellow line represents altcoin outperformance versus Bitcoin. What I'm saying here is, after QT ended, altcoin didn't pump up immediately. After QE began, altcoin didn't pump up immediately. There must be some gap between QT end and QE beginning, and then alt season. It took a lot more time for alt season to come. For alt season to come, first things first, Bitcoin has to move higher, and then Ethereum needs to move higher for altcoins, especially large caps, and then middle caps and low caps. Which means we need time for this. We don't know exactly when though, and I don't think this guy has been always correct about timing. No. It might take longer for alt season to arrive. We need to be patient. Last but not least, BlackRock launches Bitcoin ETF in Australia. They plan to launch a Bitcoin ETF later this month. This month means November, right? Allowing advisors to access crypto without needing to hold it directly. In November, BlackRock launches Bitcoin ETF. My question here is, BlackRock sells Bitcoin in a bear market? Do you think it's possible? Yes, it's possible, but I would say personally less likely. I'm somewhat negative. If bear market comes in, BlackRock, JP Morgan, do they have to sell Bitcoin? Do they lend money based upon with the collateral, using collateral Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral? I don't think so. And my next question is, are they going to sell Bitcoin only? Or are they going to sell Ethereum, maybe Solana XRP, plus ADA, like index crypto ETF, like top 5, top 10 in the end? I think the latter. Who knows exactly when crypto to outperform, let's say, Max 7 or AI stocks? My recommendation comments should be this: ignore all those noises out there, stay safe and patient, and stick to major altcoins and spots, not those futures and margins, etc. Because survival in this crazy market should be your first priority. In my personal opinion, it's not financial advice though. And then survivors can take huge profits. Let's be patient. Thank you for listening.